Hello everyone, it's Blaze, and welcome to Horror Month. We're going to start this off with a horror ranking of some iconic movie villains, or horror villains I should say. There are some I don't recognize, but as the tiers, best, great, good, mediocre, hot garbage, and don't really know anything about them, so I can't really rank them properly. So without delay, let's just start this thing. Michael Myers, honestly, in my opinion, I think he's a good one. Obviously, there's the mediocre movies that in the middle of the franchise that kind of hinder it, but I don't know. Just Michael Myers has always been kind of an intimidating. Like the first two movies, honestly, were crazy good. Why do you think the franchise is still going? Still wonder what would have happened if movie 3 actually featured Michael, or at least some form of it instead of the Halloween masks or whatever it was. But still, I like him, and he deserves to be pretty high up. Annabelle, I don't know too much about how it, so I just know of the haunted doll and how it comes to life, but to be honest, I haven't watched any of the movies, so I don't really know much about her, so, but if I would rank her, I would say mediocre, because I don't know, just something about it just doesn't feel quite right to me. I don't really exactly like it. Pyramid Head. Honestly, like, the character itself is good, but it only works if it's in movie 2. Everything else just feels wrong, like it shouldn't be there. Like, he was the manifestation of the main character in games 2, so it makes sense for him to be there, but everything else, he just feels like they were just forced him in because of how popular he was, which makes no sense in my opinion. Freddy, honestly, he's a really good villain. Like, the fact that he enters your dreams and kills you, I love that, and it's dark and creepy. But obviously the middle ones, similar to Michael, kind of ruin him a bit, and obviously that remake is really messed up. But John Carpenter's The Last Nightmare, honestly, despite how weird the idea was, actually was pretty nice and really brought Freddy back to horror status. But still, I kind of enjoy him, which is why he goes pretty high. The Xenomorph. I still haven't seen the newest one that just came out, but still, I honestly would say the Xenomorph is probably a great villain. It's just a mindless drone that wants to kill and reproduce. That it doesn't have a goal, doesn't have an end thing. Just kill, reproduce, and continue. Like, that's all it does, and that's what's scary about it. The fact that it has no eyes and it just seeks you out with incredibly fast speed and everything about it, I just am honestly pretty terrified of it. But still, obviously there's those mediocre movies that kind of ruin it in my opinion, but still. And don't even get me started with the two prequel movies at the near end of the franchise. That was weird. I just know that you're in the Sinister movies, and in my opinion, hot garbage. I remember watching a review of it and even seeing a bit of it, and honestly, in my opinion, both the premise and the monster itself were pretty dumb. I don't like how the fact that the only way for people to truly die is to move houses, and that's honestly dumb. I should probably have put at the beginning of this video spoiler warnings to if you haven't seen any of these movies, but still, this monster is hot garbage and deserves to be in the very back. Candyman. I think he's good. Like, the first movie, honestly, really good. And honestly, the recent remake, despite its flaws, I honestly think was a pretty interesting thing. Obviously not the best of movie 1, and movie 2 and 3 were... I don't remember much of 2, but I remember 3 being kind of a weird mess. I don't know. Still, I kind of enjoyed it. Chucky. Oh, straight up, honestly, that's what Annabelle, I feel like, was missing. Like, Chucky's a haunted doll and makes it clear. Like, and I still haven't seen or at least haven't seen really much of the series that's been going on. And honestly, I should really change that. But still, I do like Chucky and all of it. But obviously, the middle ones kind of ruin him a little. Like, especially Seed of Chucky. What the fuck was that movie? Like, I remember hearing how it took 4 grown men to jerk off a plastic doll. Oh, that's disgusting, and if I have to know that, you have to know that as well. But still, honestly, Chucky deserves to be pretty high up, because, I don't know, I just really do like him. I don't know. It's just hard to explain why I like him so much. Who the fuck are you? I'm trying to remember. Oh man, I'm going to be torn to pieces for not remembering this one. I just remember, not The Conjuring. Oh fuck, I'm going to have... This is kind of embarrassing to forget, but still. I forget what movie you're from, but still, from what I remember, you are pretty good. Like, the first movie, honestly, good. Second one and third, I don't really know much about, but I remember them being absolute shit. And I don't know, I feel like there was a fourth, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know. But still, this is a good one. I'm going to be torn to shreds in the comments for forgetting what the hell this movie is. Oh, Exorcist. That's what it was. The Exorcist. Oh my gosh, finally I remember. I don't remember her name, but she was from The Exorcist. Okay, that's good. But still, I think she is a good villain and really deserves her status pretty high up. Art the Clown? This dude's a fucking psychopath, and I love it, to be honest. Like, obviously, the gore is something I'm not 100%, well, not really the biggest fan of because of just how queasy I can get at times, but I still love it. How just off-the-wall, crazy batshit crazy this get just because of the gore itself. Straight up, like, Art the Clown, one terrifying motherfucker. I still haven't seen the second one. I've only seen clips. But from the first one, oh my gosh, Art is, just from that one movie alone, Art solidified him in horror movie icon history, like straight up, like, oh my gosh, he is terrifyingly good. The Gremlins, I'm just going to count them all together because there's too many to really categorize, plus there's only one of them on here. I would say, I'm not too sure. You know what? Let's just go good, because it's a horror comedy, bit more comedy related. And to be honest, I haven't seen much of it, to be honest. I haven't really watched The Gremlins, because, to be honest, it's never really interested me too much, but still, I kind of still like what they created. But you know what? Mediocre, in my opinion. The Gremlins idea is really interesting, but there's so many plot holes that make no sense, like, don't feed after midnight. Okay, what exact... How do I feed this thing if right now it's after midnight? You don't know what time it is, but for all you know, it could be after midnight. Every single second right now is after midnight. And yet, if you feed this thing, it apparently does that. Like, I don't know, the plot holes make no sense in my opinion. Oh, I forget your name. Oh, I forget you, but you're from Stranger Things. In my opinion, Stranger Things overrated, and that people are finally starting to realize that, to my knowledge. But still, for the first season antagonist, honestly, you're really good. Like, I just love the design of it, and it's just the reason it's so high in my opinion is the design alone. It's an opening mouth, just how it unrelenting monster with very little backstory, and we don't really need to know about it to understand, like, this is a dangerous threat and it needs to be put an end. I pretty much only seen up to season 2, maybe 3, I forget off the top of my head, but I don't remember if he ever comes back, but I really hope he does, because honestly, it's just really good. I guess this is the Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie. I'm not going to count it, rank him as well, because I'm just going to do all Michaels together in the first one. Oh man, I'm forgetting your name now, but honestly, from the Silence of the Lambs, in my opinion, and I'm going to get a lot of controversy from it, but I don't care about that. And like, obviously this, oh wait, Hannibal Lecter, that's what it was. I don't know, just something about him, just, he does not seem that intimidating to me, and really just not that scary. Like, it's more, Silence of the Lambs, to what I know, is a psychological horror movie, so I don't know, just to me, Hannibal Lecter is just not that good of a character in my opinion, and I don't really care for him that much. Jason, honestly, I say he's good. Like, obviously, the middle movies kind of ruined him, but the first few movies he was in, really good. 2 and 3 are really good movies, and honestly, the remake, the 2009 one, that Jason is actually pretty terrifying. Outdoorsy woodsman that's ready to just chase you down until you're dead. Like, this one means business and actually feels like a a hillbilly psychopath that you can find in the woods. Like, that one feels like a real threat. While this Jason just teleports around, which never is explained, and just at some points doesn't feel like a real threat until he actually is dead. Because obviously from the first ones, he obviously could be killed, or he got killed really quickly. Or I don't know where I'm going with this. Honestly, Jason is a great horror character that deserves to be a final 13th movie. Because straight up, if you don't know, I forget exactly who it's owned by, because right now Jason's right now in a legal loophole, legal state where two competing sides are trying to say they are the ones who made and claimed Jason. And that's why we haven't gotten a new movie since 2009. Jesus Christ, just let's let the man be born again. Like, we got the 3 fan films, the Never Hike Alone ones, and those were just so good. And it had so many great characters that were actually from the series. Honestly, we need more of that kind of Jason. Just shows how much love can be put into a horror movie and make a crazy, scary killer at times. What's your name again? I feel like it's Billy. I know it's not Billy the Puppet. We'll get to Saw soon, but I feel like you're Billy. Because it's from the Boy in the Walls or Boy in the Attic? I forget. I don't know too much about it. I've seen it like once, but not much. So I'm just going to put it in don't know nothing about it. But if I would give him a ranking, I would say probably mediocre, just because on the fact alone, I obviously don't remember much of it. So it obviously wasn't that impactful to me. I'm going to actually rank the two different Pennywises because they're both completely different from each other. One's horror scary while the other is scary. But honestly, in my opinion, the horror scary one from the original, honestly, he's an icon. He made the clowns scary before Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I forget. Oh, they should have been on the ranking. They could have been probably around Good Deer, but still. Pennywise is just a terrifying thing. Like, just his simplistic clown design. He looks like you can just find him in a regular carnival. That's how scary he can be. You see, he just looks not that scary looking, but yet it can be fucking terrifying, like straight up. This man is a psychopath and honestly deserves all the love he gets. The newer one, the 2017, I forget which one. I would say probably good. The first movie, when they were all kids, honestly, in my opinion, an amazing movie that deserved all the love. The sequel that was all of them as adults, honestly, in my opinion, it was okay. That's what, if I would just do the first one, I would still say great, because this version of Pennywise was still good, but still can't compete to the original. Like, but he definitely tries his hardest. But I forget who plays him, but the person who plays him definitely goes all out with making this Pennywise scary and just horrifying. And honestly, round of applause for him. I know I'm going to get torn to pieces because I don't know nothing about nothing apparently on certain things, but still, honestly. But like I was saying, the second movie honestly was mediocre in my opinion. That's why it's dragged down from great tier. But anyway, Bruce the Shark. Honestly, the first one, obviously, the first summer blockbuster that changed the world as we know it with horror movies, honestly deserved to be higher, but the sequels just destroy it. Like the 4 to 5, there's 4 or 5 movies, and those, besides the first one, and I don't remember much of the second one, but I thought it was at least decent, but every other movie just were really bad, which takes it down a lot. Like, if we ever get another Jaws movie, they have to basically do either a remake to make it better, or they basically have to like have the same appeal as the first one. Like, you feel like it's actual love and craft put in, not just a cash grab like the rest of the movies were. But still, it deserved mediocre status just because of the rest of the movies. The Creeper, mediocre. Honestly, the first 3 movies, I think there was 3, were actually decent. It sucks that happened with the one who created it, ended up to be a pedophile and deserves to be tortured to death in jail, like straight up. The fact he was allowed to, after what he did, is somehow still alive is truly beyond me, but still. The the creeper honestly is interesting. The lore kind of feels weird with him, in my opinion. But the first three movies honestly were decent. It's just that if I remember correctly, there was a new one or even a remake or something. I don't know. It was just that one is really bad in my opinion and just destroys anything. And the reason why I would say he's good just because if it wasn't for the bad ones, but because of the person who created him ended up to be a pedophile. Yeah, he deserves to be in the mediocre tier. But I still like get it. It's just hard to separate the movie from the the creator at times. The Leatherface, oh boy, this one is a mess. Like, straight up, I would still say probably good. It's just the fact that they're not consistent with what the hell is going on with all the Leatherfaces. Like, there's apparently 17 different Leatherfaces. I don't know, I'm just making shit up at this point, just like most of the movies do at this point. He was in so many different families that it makes no sense in my opinion, but still, I don't know, it's hard to explain at times, but still, this Leatherface was meh. Straight up just meh. He's still not mediocre worthy good, but he's just good. Like, I still like Leatherface and it's just interesting. The Leprechaun. I would say probably good. Like, straight up, his first two movies, the first one in my opinion really good. The second one I don't remember much, but I thought it was decent, but after a while it just started becoming so dumb. But thankfully the remake, or not the remake, yeah, maybe remake, I forget how it's pronounced, the one from 2019 I think, yeah, it basically brought the Leprechaun back to what his original horror roots. That definitely bumped him back up from the mediocre tier, because those other movies definitely made him go into the mediocre tier, but that one, it saved him a bit. I still think there should be more. They could do more with him if they actually, you know, tried better and instead of like those other ones. But still, it was interesting. It's the Saw movies and Billy the Puppet. Honestly, it's really good. Like, obviously it became a mess near the end with the top drama soap operas instead of what it was originally started as with the first three movies. I don't know, it just or the first two I should say, because I feel like after movie 3 that's where it showed it was starting to go in a different direction. But the first two honestly were pretty good in my opinion. But and Saw X that came out a few years ago, honestly I love that movie. It was so good. Like, the plot actually sort of made sense, and the fact that it was between I forget, was it 1 and 2 or 2 or 3? I think it was 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2. It was between 1 and 2. Duh. The fact that happened was honestly pretty interesting. It sucked that they couldn't really de-age the two main characters for some reason. Honestly, I both like and don't like that they did that. But it's just whatever. I still like the Saw franchise, and if they continue with stuff like Saw X, I feel like the franchise will definitely come back in a better light. We're skipping this one because straight up it's, you know what? Hot garbage, because this was just trying to use the Child's Play IP just to keep it in its claws, and the movie was mediocre in my opinion. It had an interesting premise, but if they did something else instead of just the Chucky doll, they could have had a better thing, in my opinion. I don't even know who you are, so you're going to the know nothing about tier. The Nun, to be honest, I haven't watched any of it, so it's going to the know nothing category, and same with whatever this thing is. I know nothing about those two. I just know that the Nun is possibly part of the Conjuring series? I don't know. Yeah, this thing, yeah, no. I know nothing about him. All I know is he puts eyes in his hands. That's all I know about him. The Hellraisers. Okay, the first two, I want to say, maybe? I don't know. The first one definitely is an icon that deserves to be loved, but after a while, it became the same thing with the other 80s and 90s horror movies. Just slop that just to cash in on something, and it's really, really bad in my opinion. It doesn't deserve to go really any higher, because despite how crazy cool the designs are at times, they just feel also bad at the same time. I don't know. The Yaosha? I think it's the Yaosha. Honestly, in my opinion, really good. He's honestly, if it wasn't for that the Predator movie, the fourth one in the series, I would say it's best tier, because in my opinion, the first two really good. Three is eh, but I still liked it. Prey, oh my gosh, that was a good movie. I watched that and it was awesome. To me, it felt like the same level as the first movie, just amazing. But if it wasn't for that fourth movie having a predator, an actual predator, being the main lead and near a child and saying autism gives you superpowers, yeah, no, that's just screwed up on so many levels. Like, obviously it's good to have representation in movies at times, but saying someone is autistic gives them superpowers is just just fueling fire, and why representation is not really that good in movies these days. I don't know, it's hard to really balance the one, because on one point I want to have good representation, but Hollywood does not know how to do it correctly half the time. They just make the characters' personalities just their stereotype, and that's it. I just feel sorry. I just want a good character in a good movie. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask. But still, anyway, back to the Yaosha. Actually, the entire tribe and the history behind it with the Predator versus Alien movies, oh, they are good. Obviously, the second one was and for the crossover movies, I should say. But honestly, the first one is really good. I love the Yaosha and all of it. I don't know, it's just hard to really describe at times. But still, on to the next one. Ghostface. Honestly, he's another great horror movie. Obviously, the what was it? Fourth? I forget. Yeah, it was the fourth one. Where it was just the single killer. The fourth one honestly feels a little dumb, in my opinion. But the other ones, movie 1, 2, and 3, really good a trilogy of movies. Obviously, the fourth one was meh. Fifth one, honestly, really good. Sixth one was in my opinion. They really shouldn't be leading back to the originals to try and get a cheap pop. But I still think they could have done more with it, but I feel like now that I don't remember the exact thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but with what the main lead said on Twitter, that series is basically dead. I don't exactly remember what she said. All I know is she said something that basically ended her career and basically ended the Scream franchise, since she was the main lead. So you could have to just straight up change up everything again in the movie 8, which honestly sucks in my opinion. But still, Ghostface, iconic horror movie villain, and honestly deserves all the love it gets. What the fuck are you? No thank you. Don't know nothing about, so you go in there. Oh, this Freddy. I'm just going to rank him and put him in hot garbage because they made him a pedophile. You shouldn't be doing that. That's just screwed up. Obviously, from the original Freddy, obviously that's not what his intentions were. I don't remember off the top of my head, but definitely was nothing even close to that. And this Freddy coming back for revenge, no, you deserve to be burned and gruesomely tortured for your crimes, my dude. You shouldn't be allowed to come back from the land of the living. Anyway, what was his name? Johnny? Oh yeah, Johnny, the meme. But still, I would say he's good. I just feel like The Shining at some point is overhyped, because I did watch it and I don't know, it was just a little boring to me in my opinion. I still liked it in my opinion. It was still good, but I don't know, it was just a little boring in my opinion. But he still is an amazing antagonist and deserves, and it shows why The Shining is still referenced to this day and still loved. But in my opinion, it's just okay. What are you, the Ring movies? Mediocre. I don't really know nothing about you. All I know is that after watching a videotape from 7 Days, you're just going there because I don't know much about you. All I know is the 7-day videotape, so yeah, you're going there. Obviously, mediocre was where they belong if I knew it. The Thing. Straight up an icon in the horror franchise. Like, straight up, the first movie, oh, was so crazy. It was basically Among Us before Among Us was even thought of. Like, in my opinion, I feel like The Thing was the inspiration to make Among Us, and honestly, I love it for that. And the remake one, or the prequel thing, or the 2011 prequel thing, it was okay. It definitely was interesting in my opinion. I still liked it, don't get me wrong, it still was good, but if I would have to rate the two things, obviously the original would be a whole lot better than this one. But I don't know, it's just hard to explain at times. Despite it being my... English is hard for me despite it being my one and only language. I don't understand why. But Sam from Trick or Treats... mediocre. Honestly, the fact that it was an... what's the word? Anthology movie? Where multiple stories were happening at once? Honestly, in my opinion, was meh. And Sam was only in, like, what was it, 3 movies? Or 3 parts of it? Or not even? I just remember him almost killing a few people. Killing one who abused a kid. Killed another person, and that was it. I don't remember much about the movie. I just remember that at some point some kids died for no reason. Obviously they scared their friends to thinking they died, but still they don't deserve to actually be killed by zombies. That was honestly a little fucked up in my opinion. But still, honestly, this is my little ranking. Obviously there's horror movie characters that aren't on this list, but still, but honestly, if you guys like, I can try and find a part 2 to this one, because obviously there's more, and there's more to it, and honestly there's a lot more I could rank. I still have no clue who the fuck you are, and especially you. Like, this one, I literally know nothing about. Like, I don't even know what movie he's from, and same with this one. Obviously The Nun, but like I said, I haven't watched it. I want to say you're the Baba Yaga? I want to say that's correct. I have no clue, though. And like I said, I feel like your name is Billy. I'm probably wrong, though. But still, thank you all for watching this, and hope you all have a great spooky month, and hope you enjoy all the other horror stuff I'm planning on both my gaming channel and on my React channel, which you should totally go subscribe to. Links are always in the eye and in the description of each of my videos. For now, see you in whatever I post next. Bye, guys!